it's Tracey from Tea Time with Tracey. I have a whole bunch of piles of books around me that I need to make little videos for. More for me to keep track and have it on my book channel, whether, you want to see it or not. I need to do it so I can put these books away. Today, I'm going to be doing my summer seasonal TBR. I have 10 books here that I want to read this summer that are going to be priority above and beyond my monthly TBRs or readathons that I'm doing. If I can incorporate some of these books into those monthly things, I will. If not, I want to try to do this. Summer starts June 21st, so I want to make this video so that I can start working on that. I just filmed my June TBR video yesterday, and one of these books did end up getting on it, but again, I just want to put these on my shelves to know this video is up and at 'em. Anyways, the first book is Gather the Daughters by Jenny Maland. I'm not sure how you say that. This is her debut novel. I bought this book when I was buying a bunch of cult books cult books. This is about a small island. I'm not sure where, off the coast of whatever, that was founded by 10 men a couple generations ago, I think. And ever since then, the people living on this island, they live in this bubble of religious ruling. And I just read the inside thing of this, and it said that there's a system on this island that there's only 10, the 10 ancestors of the 10 founding fathers are allowed to leave this island. Anybody else that's there, any of the children that they've had with women, I don't know how women got there, but they've never left this island, so they don't know what the outside world looks like. And as soon as all the, any daughters that they've had, when they come to puberty, they go through the fruitation and get married. So probably 12 and 13-year-olds get married. And when they have their own children, then the young mothers go, I forget what it said, they pretty much die. I'm assuming that they go and get killed or something. So this is about young children having an uprising against the religious adults, islanders, ruling, because I think one of the girls sees something they aren't supposed to, and spreads that information to the other children, maybe just the young women, I'm not sure, gather the daughters, and they try to rebel. Whether they're successful or not, I'm not sure. Anyways, it's a culty book, and hopefully these girls, survive. Yeah. Anyways, a cult one. So that one. Another one I want to read is Teltos by Anne Rice. This is the third book in the Mayfair Witches series, so technically this series will be complete. There are, I think, 2 other books in the Vampire Chronicle series, which is certainly more books that cross over with the Mayfair Witches. I'm assuming it just happens in the same area where the dynasty of the Mayfair family is, because looking online, I tried to sort that out. I'm like, is this the end of the series? And it is. However, there's just a small crossover in book 5 and 6. I forget which ones of the Vampire Chronicles, which I have read the first 3 books in that series years ago, and I plan on rereading the whole. I want to read the whole series. So whenever I get to that, I will say. But this is book 3, technically, in the Mayfair Witches series. And that series, I can't really tell you what this book is about, but the first 2 books is The Witching Hour and Lasher. I read those this year. I absolutely love them. They're dense, heavy books that span generations, and there's a lot of history and richness and nasty and incestuous and manipulation and a whole bunch of stuff. But it follows this family throughout the generations from way, way back, witch burning and things like that. And there's this entity, Lasher, that attaches to one woman each generation and follows her until she dies. And then he being Lasher, latches on to another person, baby, woman, in the next generation, all the way up to present day. And at the end of the Lasher book, there was kind of a finality, but not completely. So, I can't really explain it. I want to read this one because Telltales is kind of like the family history of Lasher. Whether it's before he became the supernatural demonic entity or not, it's almost like a sect. I can't really explain it, but I love this cover. It's like, I love this cover. The colors and stuff, but yeah. Anyways, I want to read this one, and then I'll technically be done another series. Another book I want to read is, this is book, I think 5. I think it's book 5 in the Earth's Children series, Clan of the Cave Bear. There was Clan of the Cave Bear, Valley of the Horses, the Mammoth Hunters, and the Plains of Passage. This is the Shelters of Stone. And then the next one is, I forget what it's called. Anyways, this was my mother's favorite series when I was a child. My mother is in spirit now, and I had never, ever, 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 ever read these books. They're usually really big books. Well, they are really big books. And so I've read the first 4 books in this series this year. This is the fifth book. This is like a prehistoric story, like mammoths, saber-toothed tigers, the foliage, the people, the clothing, the food, everything. This follows Ayla, who was a young woman, like the first book. She is found when she's, I think, 4 or 5. Her whole family, they're like cave people pretty much, was killed in an earthquake. And then a clan was passing by and found her. This clan was not as developed as her clan was. So they didn't really use words to talk. They used hand motions and grunts and things. Whereas Ayla, she was still pretty much a baby, not quite, but 3 or 4 or 5. And she ends up being adopted by this clan. They're shorter, they're much more bulkier, they're what you would think a caveman looks like, whereas she would come from a clan that was a little more evolved, taller, skinnier, lighter hair, more defined features. So she was always treated like an outcast, but loved all the same, for the most part. Anyways, that's the first book. Eventually she gets run out of that clan when she's an adult. Well, I say not an adult, she's still a teenager, but way back then, you're an old woman when you're 20. But, anyways, in Valley of the Horses, she eventually is living on her own, and she survives because of what her adoptive mother taught her, who was a medicine woman, and she crosses paths with this man from another tribe, similar to how she looks. He looks like her, but she saves him from a saber-toothed tiger attack, and it goes from there. Now, this is book 4, so just imagine from book 1 into book 2, this is book 4. They're trying to trek and go all the way back to where his family is from, which is a great distance. And of course they don't have cars, and there's a whole bunch of peril, and there's other tribes and clans and rivers and mountains and weather and all that stuff. So it's like you're going on a great big adventure. So anyways, and Ayla has a wolf named Wolf and a horse named Winnie, which nobody has ever seen a horse tame before or a wolf tame before. But when she was living on her own, she saved these creatures and befriended them, and now they're her babies. So she's always looked at strangely when she goes to different tribes and things, like they think she's cursed or something. Anyways, it's a whole bunch of stuff. I'm loving it. I want to read that. Okay, this book, Train Spotting. I didn't read the back of it. I watched the movie umpteen times when I was younger. I loved it. I had a poster in my room. This is on my 25 and 2025, I think. And yeah, this takes place in Scotland, I believe. It follows a group of friends, drug-riddled, detoxing, heists, and a whole bunch of things. I want to read it. I thrifted this book when I was out west in Alberta a couple years ago. And I just thought, I love the movie so much. I even like part 2. I watched that a couple years ago. I loved the movie so much. I wanted to read the book. And for $1 to get the book, I'm going to do it. So, read that this summer. All right. This book, Sinful Blaze by Naomi West. I had a friend send this to me. Well, I didn't have them. They sent me a book. This is the first book in a duet. I believe it's a mafia romance or a crime romance. This follows a young woman. She works at an art gallery, and her fiance ends up cheating on her, and she goes into, and he's an artist. He goes into the art gallery with his mistress, and she's not an artist herself, but she runs the art gallery, or she works at the art gallery. She doesn't run it. She works at the art gallery. So, of course, she goes to work, and then her ex-fiance walks in there, who he cheated on her with, and has this mistress who is all snotty and snooty and rubbing it in and stuff like that. Anyways, when there's an auction or something going on, the main girl, I forget what her name is, pulls the closest guy to her and kisses him, and she doesn't know who this person is, and the guy goes along with it. A Russian mafia, so he's a big Russian mafia guy, and he goes along with it, and it goes from there. Her ex-fiance sees this and has a cow, and he goes and tries to be all protective. What are you doing? You shouldn't just be going to kiss some strange man. And of course, he's there with the mistress, and what's she gonna do, you know? Anyways, it's something like that. Yeah, when I'm in the mood for something mafia related. All right, Balance by Lucia Franco. This is a whole series. I have the whole series, actually. This is a taboo romance. Some content creators I watch, Hey It's McKay. Oh, Hey It's McKay. I think that's what it is. Anyway, she loves this series. This follows Kova and I forget what the girl's name is. Yeah, for heaven's sakes. This is on my beefcake challenge. Yeah, I don't know what the girl's name is. This is a gymnast and gymnastics coach romance. I believe she is trying to get to the Olympics, like she's really good. And she goes to the elite coach who has her father knows him somehow. Like, I don't know if they're friends or whatever. He's an Olympist himself, but now he's a coach, and she goes to him. So there's an age gap and inappropriate and taboo, and there's 5 books, maybe 6 books, and this is the first one. I've had this for a couple of years. I need to start reading the series because it's taken up a big chunk on my shelf. And yeah, not everybody's into taboo. I don't read taboo all the time, but taboo, age gap, power of authority, inappropriate, you know, but I hear it's super good. The Beast by J.R. Ward. This is book, I forget, I'll put the number of what this book is in the series. The Black Dagger Brotherhood. I read up till the Shadows, and then I read one of the Blood Legacy books, and now it's Beast. Beast follows Wrath, who is in one of the earlier books. He's one of the Black Dagger Brotherhoods. I can't even get in to try to explain what the world of the Black Dagger Brotherhood is. It's too big. It's vampires, but they're not mean, nasty, ugly-looking vampires. They're a secretive society. However, they live among people, and the people are oblivious because they look just like people. But there's a group of vampires that protect the regular vampires, and they fight crime. And there's another secret society called the Lessers, who have given their souls to the Omega, who's the head honcho bad guy. And they try to eliminate the vampires. The Black Dagger Brotherhood tries to fight the Lessers to protect the rest of the vampires. That's about all I can explain about the world. Anyways, Wrath had his own book way back at the beginning, probably book 2 or 3, I forget. And he is one of the Black Dagger original brothers. Only with him, he has a side to him that he was cursed with, that if he gets so angry and so worked up, he turns into this big beast, this big like dragon, and he actually eats the Lessers. And just, he turns into a giant animal. Nobody is bigger than Wrath when he is in this form. Like even the Black Dagger Brotherhoods have to back off because he turns into a beast and doesn't know. Anyways, I don't know what exactly this is. I read the inside thing, and it follows him. The Black Dagger Brotherhood is still fighting the Lessers. His partner, lady, that he came with when he had his original book, I won't get into that. She's going on her own journey. She isn't a vampire, but and he's having some internal struggles, and it's that. So I don't really know how this will go. I know with J.R. Ward, she writes a couple of books about characters from way back. Like, it's almost like a continuous thing. And she has a new series out on Passion Flicks channel or something. I don't know. I've seen blurbs of it, which is turned into a show. I don't think I'll watch that right away because I still want to read all the books. But anyways, The Beast. I have all the books. I want to read all the books and go from there. This is longer than I thought I was anticipating. The next book is The Enigma by Jodi Ellen Malpez. I read the Brit in this series. It's, what is this series called? Unlawful Men, book 2. The Brit is book 1. I have an old video about that. I was up in my attic drinking tea, talking to you about the Brit. Anyways, this is book 2. This is like a mafia romance, and this is the main female character, who used to be a Miami cop. She left her fiance at the altar. I'm assuming he did something. I don't know. And she is on the run. She is on the run. Her mom's death was called an accident, and she wants to try to figure out what it is. Maybe he had something to do with her mom's death. I don't know. Anyways, she ends up crossing paths with the main guy in this, and he is on a mission to find out, to get revenge on the people that killed his family, which eventually leads him to her. So I'm assuming he's playing nice to get to know her, and he has to make a decision because he plans on killing everybody that had anything to do with his family being murdered. So he probably has to decide whether to kill her or love her, because she or her family probably had something to do with his family's demise. I'm not sure. But it's usually a suspenseful, spicy, crime-ridden book. All right. Well, let me do this one first. Summer of Night. This is going to be a reread for me. I read this book before I even started BookTube. I've been on YouTube for a very long time on my other channel, but before I started this channel, my book channel, I read this book via audio years ago, like 8 or 9 years ago, maybe longer, I don't know. The Summer of Night by Dan Simmons. I love Dan Simmons. Any book I've read, I fall arse over tea kettle in it and roll around it and just love it. I do. Anyways, this is a coming of age kind of horror. It's often compared to Stephen King's It. It's not it at all. Well, I mean, the only thing that's similar to this is it follows a group of like young children, probably 12 or 13-year-old. There's boys and I think one girl in this. It's been a long time. So it follows young kids at the beginning facing an evil. This follows young kids in the 1960s. It's summer vacation. It's hot. It's in Illinois. There's bike riding. There's campfires. There's fields. There's small town. There's simple living and enjoyment of kids, clubhouse, woods, that sort of thing. Anyways, there's evil in this town. There's ghostly entities, and the kids know it, and eventually the town starts acting kind of strange. Some of the people, the residents in this, and it's a coming of age horror, and I would say this is almost my favorite kind of horror because it hurts my feelings, but in a good way. It's the loss of innocence, and I feel like, oh, gut punch, that magic of innocence when you're that age being ripped away from you, when you have that awakening. We've all been there. But when you see fictional people go through it for the first time, it's heartbreaking because you can see it for what it is then. Whereas when we're personally going through it, you don't really realize it until after the fact, a few years down the road. Oh, I wish it could be as magic as it used to be, if that makes any sense to you. Anyways, coming of age story. It's a big book. I think I still have the audio, so I might do an immersive. The reason why I want to read, well, I like it. I often reread books, but I got this book. Now, the kids in this book, there's 4 books in this series. This is book 2, I think. You don't have to read it in order or anything. There's this book, Fires of Eden. There's Children of the Night, which I read when I was a teenager, like 30 years ago. 25 years ago. And then there's A Winter Haunting, which I read. I read all these books out of order. I read Children of the Night first. You don't have to. The only thing is, what makes this a series is the kids in this grow up and have their own stories. So one of the kids in The Summer of Night is the main guy in this book, and is the main guy. Another one is a main person in Children of the Night, and the main person in The Winter Haunting. They don't seem to refer back to this story hardly ever that I recall. I don't think. And it's not like they keep in contact with anybody. It's just, there's this, and then fast forward 20 years and you see what they're doing with their life. I've read the other ones and I want to reread them, but this book, I couldn't find this book for the life of me. I couldn't. I got this off of Thrift Books. It was, kind of expensive. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it on Amazon. I couldn't find it like on Indigo. I couldn't find it on Book Outlet. I got it. And this follows, I'm assuming, one of the kids in The Summer of Night. And this takes place in Hawaii on an island. He owns like a luxury resort that hosts the rich and famous celebrities or whatever. Anyways, he's losing money hand over fist, and he's trying to make this deal with the Japanese investors, but things start going strange and odd and sideways. It follows that some of his people that go and stay at this resort start to go missing, and then there's body pieces start showing up, and there's a volcano in the distance that's erupting. It's getting very close to the resort, but it's not hitting it. There's supernatural creatures that come and can talk, is what it said. I don't know. It's not as long as some of his other books, but I thought I would read these two this summer, and then I'll read the other two in the fall and winter, because Children of the Night takes place in Transylvania, and the Winter Haunting takes place back in this town where this took place, but there's something else going on. I never read this one. So I've read quite a few. Well, I've read The Terror by Dan Simmons. I've read, oh, for heaven's sakes, Carrying Comfort. Loved it. Yeah, anyways, I have a book of his on the way. It's not here yet. I thrifted it. Anyways, I want to read this. And I think that's all the books that I had. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's my summer priority reads. So for my June TBR, which isn't up yet, but it will be by the time this is up, I have this on it. So at least I can start on that. So it starts June 21st and summer ends sometime in September. Right here. So anyways, I just wanted to film this so I can get it up and I can put these on my shelves and then I can start working on them. So I'm going to say peace, love, and happiness today and every single day. Please like, share, and subscribe if you so choose, but if not, that's okay too. I still love you. I still want all the happiness in the world for each and every one of you out there. I certainly do. I really, really honest and truly do. Yes, I do. So, okay, guys, with that, I'm going to say have a good night or have a good morning. And I will. See you next time. Bye. Boink.